Welcome back to Cord Cutting Today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting right now, including watching cable TV networks is getting more expensive. Another major provider of cable TV just announced a major price hike that is now in effect. We'll break down what's happening there. Also, Paramount's getting its hands on the Harry Potter movie franchise for some of its cable networks. We'll tell you what the big news is as Paramount strikes a deal with Warner Bros. Discovery, not for the merger, but to get their hands on one of the biggest franchises they have. And also with that, did you stream content from MS Now, CNBC, Sci-Fi USA, or more? There's a law firm that says you may be owed over $2,000. We'll tell you what's happening here with this and a growing trend of crackdown on these companies for selling your viewing habits for advertisers, and they say without your permission. We'll tell you more about this in a quick second, but there's a lot of stories to go over today. In the show notes and in the first pinned comment, I'll put a link to every story I'm about to talk about so you can read them for yourself and come up with your own plans. I'd love to hear from you. If you like what we do here, we try to help you break free from the high cost of TV and still watch the shows you enjoy. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. We really do appreciate it. It lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here, and hopefully we can help you break free from the high costs of TV and still watch your favorite shows. All right, let's dive into it. Another major provider of television is jacking up its prices, this time DirecTV. Now, as of yesterday, DirecTV's price hikes are now in effect. On your next bill, you will see a big price hike there on their genre packs or core packages for both satellite and streaming customers. Now, one exception. If you are on the DirecTV 24-month price lock with this, you will keep your price until that period ends. That's one of the benefits of a long-term contract. When price hikes happen, you're not necessarily instantly impacted. But once that deal is over, you'll see your price go up. Now, with this, both the genre packs, like the sports and news packages going up, along with the core packages. DirecTV's been very clear that, hey, the cost for them to get the content is going up. We've already seen several extended blackouts at DirecTV and others relate to the fees that local television stations want, jacking up the price there. We've seen other price hikes too, including from cable networks raising the price. Cable networks and more are blaming the cost of content. They're saying actors want more money. It costs more to produce it. Fuel, wood, all this stuff costs more money. Put it all together and they say in the end, all that trickles down to you, the end consumer. DirecTV has been in extended blackouts, trying to get deals done here to keep the price down. We'll see how that plays out. But question to you, who do you blame most for the rising costs? Do you blame DirecTV, YouTube TV, and others, the providers? Do you blame Disney, NBC Universal, and the content creators there? Do you blame the unions? Let's be fair. Let's throw them in here. They've been striking for more pay and better rates. So where do you put this down? Where is your line? Who do you blame most? I want to hear from you. That's my question of the day. With all these price hikes, who do you hold most liable? Is it DirecTV? Is it Disney, NBC Universal, Paramount, or is it the unions and the other things? I'm going to be honest, a lot of people like to find one reason behind these kind of things. This is the person that's most responsible. Truth is, probably everybody has a little bit to blame here, is my opinion. But who do you blame the most? I want to hear from you. We all like that. So I want to hear your thoughts on what is the person that is most likely to blame for the high and continuing to skyrocket price of television. All right, are you a fan of the original Harry Potter movies? Warner Bros. Discovery is developing a new TV series right now. It's in filming. But Paramount has struck a deal that starting next week, the Harry Potter movies will be coming to its cable TV networks. Starting off with July 3rd, Harry Potter and the Fantastic Beasts titles will air across MTV, Nickelodeon, Nick at Night, and Paramount Network, with Paramount becoming the exclusive linear home of 11 films and nearly 40 hours of content from the magical world of Harry Potter. A few things here. Kind of a strange thing for MTV. I don't know if Paramount knows what to do with MTV. For a brief amount of time, they tested out Friends on MTV. That didn't seem to work. Now they're bringing the Harry Potter movies to MTV. That just doesn't feel very MTV-ish to me, but maybe I'm just too old. I once sat and heard the MTV at the time, he's no longer there, head of MTV, talk about how every so many years they have to reinvent themselves, like every 10 to 15 years, because they have to reinvent themselves for the next generation. MTV's target demographics at that time was like 15 through, somewhere in the 20s. Now it's a little younger, probably 10 through 15 was the target back then. The more the teen girls, MTV saw their viewership jump. So maybe I'm just getting old, but it is interesting to see Paramount strike this deal just ahead of them becoming the owner of Warner Brothers Discovery. But with this, they get to start airing movies as soon as next week on their cable TV network. So keep an eye on that if you're interested in watching them there. All right. Have you watched streaming from MS Now, formerly MSNBC, CNBC, USA, Sci-Fi, or any of the various cable TV networks? There's a law firm in New York that's gone after several of these places for selling your viewing habits without properly disclosing it. Now, according to this, that you may be owed as much as $2,500 with it. And they're going after them. Now, they seem to think that it was not properly disclosed in the terms of service, that the tactic of taking your viewership and selling it to advertisers to put ads based on what you watch there. Pretty much every major streaming company out there does that in an effort to drive up the amount of revenue they get for ads by offering more targeted ads. Now, you're supposed to disclose that and have that in your terms there. We'll keep a close eye on this one to see how it goes. We just saw a similar but a little bit different deal where Disney just agreed to pay millions to people for effectively driving up using their monopoly of ESPN. We've seen other claims like this before be successfully settled. I'm sure they would love to sell this out of court, admit no wrongdoing, pay a little bit of money and move on. Maybe update their terms of service, but we'll see. If you think you were eligible for this, check out our news story, link in the show notes where you can go and see if you could be eligible. We link over to their page about it. Hey, we just talked about DirecTV raising its price. Its free streaming service, My Free DirecTV, also added a new channel, more content from A&E networks. This time, the first 48, 24/7 premiered back in 2004, which is hard to believe. It's been over 20 years. But it's now got a 24/7 channel streaming on the DirecTV My Free service here. You do need an account, but it's 100% free, and you don't need to pay. You just need to create an account. If you have an old account that you used to use to pay for DirecTV, check it out. Link in the show notes. All right, let's keep moving along. Today in TV history, one of the biggest movies of the 90s. It's now 38 years old. And it's actually late 80s. I apologize. I remember it more as a 90s thing. But Roger Rabbit, the Who Framed Roger Rabbit movie, became wildly popular and first premiered back in June 1988. On June 25th, 1988. Widely popular, for a time it was one of Disney's bigger franchises. And if you went to Disney's Hollywood Studios in Orlando in the 90s after it opened, you would have seen a lot of Roger Rabbit references in it. Recently, Disney actually sold the rights back to the original creator, or transferred them. Exact details of that transfer are unknown. But Disney basically said they have no intention of continuing it, and they were happy to return the franchise to the original creator. Be interesting to see if they do make any more Roger Rabbit movies or TV shows, or what they'll do with it. But the original creator is now once again in full control of the franchise. Are you a Roger Rabbit fan? I just remember that being one of the biggest things in the 90s. If you were growing up in the late 80s, early 90s, it seemed like it was everywhere. Let me know if you're the same. So, Cartoon Network for sale, that's up next. Now, Paramount is expecting to get approval from the European Union, and they've offered several potential things to address concerns there. Number one, ending its partnership with NBC Universal. We talked about that yesterday. Number two, selling Cartoon Network. Now, there's some concerns that Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon are two of the biggest TV networks for youth in the United States and around the world. And with this, Paramount has said they're open to selling Cartoon Network. So who's the most likely buyer? We did a breakdown of this. And a few things that really want to make clear here. Seems like most of the interested buyers in Cartoon Network, if they do sell it, are more interested in the catalog of shows to beef up their content than they are the physical cable TV network. Getting their hands on the Cartoon Network lineup of content could help, for example, Paramount sell off, get some money back for their deal with Warner Bros. Discovery to buy down their debt. Two, places like Tubi and others would love to get their hands on that, expand their content. Even Roku and Fox. Keep an eye on Fox and Roku. with this deal. Roku has had a history of picking up content catalogs like this recently. Quibi, when that went under, they bought up the back catalog of their content and others with that. And this could really help Tubi, the Roku channel more, have a huge catalog of exclusive children's programming from old Cartoon Network content with it. Now, one thing to know here, just because they're selling Cartoon Network does not mean they're selling Adult Swim. Those are two technically separate networks that share a channel, but they're run separately and they are recorded separately and managed separately. So selling Cartoon Network doesn't mean you're selling Adult Swim. For example, DirecTV and some of their genre packs offers just Adult Swim and not Cartoon Network. During the day when it's not running, Adult Swim is dark, and at night the channel reactivates and appears there. So who would you want to pick? One of the big ones I would throw out there is Fox and Roku to get content there. There's been talk of Apple putting their hands on it. Amazon with MGM Studios to get the rights to more content to produce movies and television shows around it, and to bolster their streaming is another option out there. Of course, others like Sony picking it up again for the back catalog mostly. Doesn't seem to be a lot of interest in the physical cable TV channel, but there does seem to be a good amount of interest in the catalog with it. There's been a lot of talk. Warner Bros. Discovery's been paring back support, making massive cuts to Cartoon Network, where even staff have posted concerns for the future of the network. Could we see it just shut down the network and sell off the catalog? Very possible. You know, there's been a lot of talk that Adult Swim may become a 24/7 network. That hasn't happened, but it's been expanding. The amount of time Cartoon Network airs has been reducing steadily over the last 10 years as Adult Swim and Toonami grow and grow and grow and eat away its current lineup. Leave me a comment. Let me know, who do you want to buy Cartoon Network? If you could have anyone buy it, and why do you think they're the best to buy it? I want to hear from you. All right, speaking of classic cartoons coming to Tubi, the Real Ghostbusters TV show, the classic out there, is coming to Tubi. I know I talked about that yesterday. A lot of people were saying, when? I think, I don't know if I said it clear enough, but July 15th, season 1 through 5 of the Real Ghostbusters will come. Check it out. Link in the show notes if you want to learn more. But Tubi continuing to add more and more free ad-supported content. Also, hey, a lot of great deals out there for cord cutting. Deals on Amazon Prime Day. I know it's ended, but we still have a ton of them out there. Love to hear your thoughts on all these and what you think of all of them. Do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. It really does help us. And check out Cord Cutters News for all the deals. And we really do appreciate your support. But we'll be back again tomorrow with another video. Until next time, take care, be safe. Oh, hey, I forgot to mention, we're on TikTok. Experimenting some shorter form videos over there. You can find short, quick updates throughout the day over at TikTok. Just look for Cord Cutters News on it. About almost 300 subscribers when I posted this, so help push us over the top. I would appreciate your support. Until next time, take care, be safe. I'll talk to you all again real soon.